Well, here I am, Sunday, September 25th, 2011, Life Center, Spokane, Washington. And here you are too. Now, I know we're all very different, but we do have this one thing in common. Each of us is here today as a result of a conscious decision. In fact, nearly every decision you've made over the course of your lifetime has worked together to bring you to this place in time. I'm here for starters because several weeks ago I agreed to write and deliver this particular monologue. I'm here because some years ago I made the decision to audition for the drama team here at Life Center. And I'm at Life Center in the first place because 19 years ago I made the decision to accept an invitation to a Saturday night church service. More recent decisions that led to me being here this morning were not hitting the snooze alarm for a third time, and frankly, not chickening out at the last moment, which is always a temptation just before delivering a long monologue. So let's face it, not every decision we've made to this point is a game changer. For example, what color of socks you chose to wear today, or whether to wear socks at all. Or maybe you decided to eat before coming, and maybe you didn't. And besides for the grumbling in your stomach that may have distracted your neighbor during prayer time, the fact that you did or didn't eat or went with the blue or the brown socks really isn't going to have a major impact on the course of your life. But what about the decisions? Even the ones that seem inconsequential, that can and do have a significant effect on the person that you'll become and the influence you'll have on others. What if that decision was one of life or death? And isn't it true that sometimes the decisions we make are easy, while at other times they're extremely difficult? In Matthew chapter 7, Jesus talks about two roads, each leading to a gate. The first road is broad, leading to a wide gate, and beyond it lays destruction. The second, being narrow, it leads to a small gate. And it's difficult to find. In fact, Jesus says, few will find it. At some time, in fact, many times over, each of us must come to the decision to choose between what is easiest to do in the moment and that which is more difficult.
Awake, my soul.
A young woman, just 18 years of age, is scared. She feels alone in the world. She cannot imagine the devastation or the disappointment of telling her parents that she's pregnant. She chose to believe a lie that her boyfriend would no longer love her unless she agreed to have sex with him. Many of her friends claim to have done it. She should stop being such a child. Besides, it was supposed to feel good. But she was only left feeling empty and ashamed. And now, leaving the clinic, she imagines the daughter she may have had. Would she have been a dancer like herself? A businessman makes his way wearily toward his car at the end of a very long, hard day's work. The parking garage, it's mostly empty now, sunset hours ago. His business has been struggling in a difficult economy, and the stress has been boiling over to his family life. He thinks for a moment about a female business associate that he's been spending a lot of time with. She seems to understand him in a way that his wife never could. Her suggestion that they meet for drinks earlier in the day was clearly more come on than business. The chirp of a car alarm opening on the next floor rouses him from his reverie. He thinks of his wife and young children. He smiles to himself and drives home. An accounting manager has discovered an error in the income statement. There are thousands of dollars in expenses that have been overstated, and the cash could easily be taken without being missed. A fellow student offers the answer key to an upcoming final exam. Her grades have been falling lately, and she needs to ace the exam just to graduate. A man is transfixed as a computer monitor glows in a darkened room. The images on the screen have become his drug of choice. Somehow, it still feels wrong, but those feelings are fading fast as he's drawn deeper and deeper into a dark world just a few mouse clicks away. Standing up to her critics isn't easy. They swore they would destroy her career if she didn't change her position on the issue. Everything she's worked for hangs in the balance between pleasing the crowd and standing by her own convictions. And how many other stories like this do we know?
In these bodies we will live, in these bodies we will die. The way you invest your love, you invest your life. In these bodies we will live, in these bodies we will die. The way you invest your love, you invest your life.
Day after day, year after year, we must all choose which path to follow. Sometimes it's one small compromise leading to another, and before you know it, the damage is done. At other times, it's one decision made in an instant that changes everything, for good or bad. And sometimes we're shown grace, and we're given the opportunity to change the course of our lives by first making one good decision, and then another. A boy raised by his mother after his parents' divorce struggles to find his place in the world. She's working hard to support him, but is emotionally cold. Raised like an only child, he spends countless hours alone and living with other families. Carving out an identity for himself, he finds acceptance in academics and music. He begins to attend a local youth group, and at age 14, he accepts Jesus as his Lord and Savior. Later, as president of his high school class, his future looks promising. But having never experienced authentic love, he begins to have sex with his high school girlfriend, and creating an elaborate facade. He smokes marijuana with his friends, skipping school and failing classes. The emptiness that he's carried inside for so long comes out as rage and self-loathing. Year after year of poor decisions compound upon one another. More drugs to numb the pain, more sex, more shame, a failed marriage, isolation, loss, and grief. Finally, hopelessness. And then one day, 19 years ago, I made a decision to accept an invitation to a Saturday night church service. There are two paths. One, wide and easy to travel, leads to destruction. The other, narrow and difficult to find, leads to life. Which will you choose?
Awake, my soul. Awake, my soul.